Hi there, I'm Aldwyn Alternate.
And I'm Michael Thompson.
And welcome to
another episode of
Movie Review TV.
Movie Review TV.
We see films as they are,
Rate them out of 5 stars.
Movie Review TV. Movie Review TV. Yeah, beautiful original music there by Michael Thompson. Yay, we love the original music.
All
Movie Review
originals.
TV. Thank you so much, Michael. Excellent. And we're up to Movie Review TV episode 43. Can you believe it, Michael? And we're going to be doing Where Hands
Yes,
Touch
I can
today.
believe it.
What's Where Hands Touch about, Michael?
That was an original opening, and this is an original
opening.
film.
An original film.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Where Hands Touch. This 2018 British romantic war drama film was directed and written by Emma Asante and stars Amandla Stenberg, George Mackay and Abby Cornish. The film is a rite of passage story of a biracial teenage girl falling in love with a member of the Hitler Youth and struggling for survival in Nazi Germany. The protagonist, Lena, is portrayed as a German nationalist and was somewhat anti-Semitic. Lutz is the son of a high-ranking SS officer and is initially an enthusiastic member of the Hitler Youth. After Lena and Lutz fall in love, things get very complicated.
Yes, they do get complicated.
A long film at 2 hours and 2 minutes, it grossed $67,743 million at the US box office.
So 67.7
67 million
at
67
the box
million.
office. 67
So
million.
what did you think of the film, Alden? Do you think it was worthy?
Look, I absolutely loved this film. Absolutely loved it. Where Hands Touch is an interesting title for it. I think they probably could have come up with something a bit more creative than Where Hands Touch for this film, because it was extremely powerful about the racism that happened during Nazi Germany, during that era and during the war, and how even with its own people, where this girl is basically centered around this girl, it's biracial teenage girl, as we said, whose father was a Negro French guy, and the mother is a fair German lady. But the fact that the daughter looks kind of Negro, she was not accepted as a German, and she had a hell of a time. I can't believe the racism of the Germans towards the Negroes in Germany. I had no idea that this was actually like this. This was all news to me. So I found the film absolutely fascinating to watch because of that. So not only were the Jews persecuted, the Germans were persecuted who were not fair like the others, and just because they looked different, they were also persecuted. I mean, it's just insanity what actually happened back then. The fact, and there was so many, there was thousands at the end of the film. It said that I think it was 25,000 or something. There was a lot of biracial or Negro Germans that were persecuted during Nazi Germany. So I love this film. I thought the romance in it was really touching. I thought there was some beautiful moments. I love the cinematography. I love the acting. I thought it was top class. I love the drama and the music and the excitement and there was really scary moments in the film and some really brutal moments. I mean, the Germans are kind of known, well, particularly around Nazi time, to be really hard kind of people, and there was definitely some hardness going on in this film and some really brutal moments where you kind of think at the end of it, thank goodness I wasn't around at that time in that place, going through those kind of horrific journeys as so many did. It was a phenomenal movie. I really, really love this movie. What did you think, Michael?
Well, I found it a lot easier to watch than Hotel Mumbai, that's for sure. Which is very interesting. You wouldn't think of a Nazi or Nazi era film as being easy on the eye to watch. Because most of them aren't really. But this one had a lot of entertainment value.
Yes.
In it, quite surprisingly. I thought it might have been quite a depressing experience, watching this on the screen throughout the whole of the duration, but it wasn't.
No. It
was quite uplifting, really. I guess you could say to some extent throughout most of the movie, because this girl, this half African girl managed to, get away with being not deported and taken away throughout the whole of World War II. Well, almost anyway, as you find out at the end.
It gets complicated.
But she seemed to, slide around everything okay, apart from the school, as you'll find out. But because she as it says in the movie, she does get kicked out of her school, unfortunately. But she still manages to do okay, throughout most of wartime Germany and Nazi, which is quite surprising, really, because
it is.
Because you think someone that obviously with dark skin would be singled out, in a minute.
Sure.
But according to this movie, the Jews were more the problem in Germany. That's who they wanted to get rid of first. Then obviously the coloured people came after that, according to this. Yeah, it's very interesting movie, and you don't usually think about this particular subject in terms of obviously a lot of people talk about the Jews that were killed by the Nazi regime, but not too many people know about what the coloured people in Nazi Germany would. They don't usually think of that. Yeah, as I said, there's 25,000 was it African people in Nazi Germany?
I think it was 25,000 at the end, the stats.
But
a lot of people.
Half African anyway.
A lot of people that, went through concentration camps and had all sorts of dramas just because of the colour of their skin. It's atrocious, the types of racism that have happened over time on the planet. And, hopefully now things are improving since then. I would say they have improved. But all this hate that happens out there's just no need for it. There's just no need for it because we're all on the planet together, and there's a massive universe out there. And I think we need to learn to work together more rather than go out and kill each other just because we look different or because we have a different belief. And, this film very well depicted the types of stress and drama and the fear back then, the fear of losing your life at any moment because of the craziness by the Nazis. And
she had to keep on her toes, didn't she?
Constantly,
most of the
constantly.
Time. So,
and the survival, that will to survive and that fight to survive is something that a lot of us will probably never know anything like that in our lifetimes, and we probably don't want to know. However, this film is a great depiction and a safe way to kind of experience it without actually being in the scene. So I found it very powerful. I give it 4.5 stars out of 5. What about you, Michael?
I'll give it 3.5.
3.5.
It was definitely entertaining to watch, and obviously you learn about this for the first time because, as I said, you don't normally think about this particular subject in terms of the coloured people in Germany.
No. So my heart goes out to you.
That's a very interesting angle.
Very interesting
piece of history that they should find out about. Yes, it was directed by British Garman. Filmmaker, a lady,
yeah,
that's right.
So, Ama Asante.
So she's managed to she I don't think she's got any German roots.
No, she wrote and directed it.
But
she's another AA like me. Another AA.
Yeah, she probably researched into it to find out the details about this particular subject, which is very interesting. It gives you notice of what happened back then, doesn't it?
Very powerful. Very powerful. It actually reminded me a little bit of Green Book with the type of racism that happened. If you've seen Green Book, that was another film, or Django. That showed the black racism that happened that was in America, whereas this is actually in Germany. So it was really interesting to see it in Germany during the Nazi time. I haven't seen a film anything like this. I highly recommend you go and see it. It is definitely a yes from the team here.
Give me a Y.
Hey, give me an S. Yes. Yes, and one more. Yes, there you go. Yes, it's a yes from us. So go and see it. Where Hands Touch. Wherever you can see it. It's a really powerful film. And again, I love films based on a true story. So I love to learn as I'm watching. And this definitely, by the end of this, I was very grateful that I wasn't born there or didn't have to go through any of that hardship. And my heart goes out to all those who do and all the survivors. And for those that persecuted, well, I do believe in karma. What comes around goes around. And there was a lot of brainwashing going on in Nazi Germany time back then too. So anyway, that's a whole other story. What did you think of the film? If you saw it, make sure you pop your comments under this video wherever you're watching it, on Facebook or YouTube. Any final words from you?
It's a very interesting slice of history. If you don't know, if you've never heard of this subject before, the African people. You don't. No one talks about African people in Nazi Germany.
No, really interesting. Very, very interesting film.
Fascinating subject, isn't it?
Fascinating subject. So go see it if you can. Where Hands Touch. Let us know what you thought. Make sure you subscribe to Movie Review TV on Facebook and also to Media Queen TV on YouTube. And we'll be back some other time with episode 44. That's it for us for tonight on the Gold Coast. Thank you so much for watching us, and you stay shining bright and light up those around you.
Go to the movies.
Go to the movies. Lose yourself at the movies and enjoy. Thank you so much to all the filmmakers and actors out there who entertain us with Movie Land. We love it. And we'll see you again soon. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.